Hello, this is my first journal, and in this journal, I will talk about my learning reflections and my reflections about teaching. From the first part, we study the units of culture and identity. I think that identity was a little bit harder for me because I didn't have the clear concept of what identity means. So I think that I could get to understand it, but what I could realize is that identity is conformed by many elements. That identity is kind of a process that you collect things or elements from different parts of your life. So I think that in this process, family is like the base of this confirmation of your identity because they give you like the main elements, like the main tools for accompany you during this whole process. I think that they give you like the basic things that a people needs uh, to keep the essence of who they are. I think that that's why family helped me to understand like this process of identity. Um, so also to understand identity, uh, I read some articles on internet about Chilean identity and some things like that. And I try to write reflections about this so I could also get better my reading skills. Um, to the unit of culture, uh, I think that it was a little bit easier for me because culture is like more wide, more a more wide concept, or at least that's what a lot of people answer when we make this survey. Uh, so I think that of culture I took from the topic of consumerism. I support in this topic to get to understand this whole unit. Because I think that consumerism is like the main characteristic of the society in what we live right now. And this is basically about people identifying with uh, material stuff, the wealth they consume, how much money they have, the things they buy, and it's like a lot about buying, and money. It's like uh, everything, even medical services, becomes material. So the other part of this unit that I would like to mention is like a culture of peace, because I think that these two things, consumerism and a culture of peace, kind of relate themselves because a culture of peace I think is kind of the answer of consumerism is kind of the way we can solve this problem, because I think that consumerism is really problematic for the nowadays society. So a culture of peace is basically about a culture of peace is also like a human sustainable development, because I think that these two things goes in hand to hand and trying to build a better place to live. And I think that this was really helpful for me to understand the unit of culture, and also to understand my reflections about teaching, because this is what I want to teach. This is the way I want to focus my teaching. I want to spread this message of being responsible consumers, because I think that this is a thinking that we have to start sharing with other people, and try to make every person starts to think in this way, start to realize that consumerism is a problem that is damaging our planet, and that we can still make something for make things different. So in this way I believe that the unit of culture was easy for me in the content, but was a little bit harder in vocabulary. So I think that I try to get better in this way. But as a conclusion, I could say that these units helped me a lot in my learning reflections, because I learned a lot of vocabulary, new vocabulary that I could include to my own vocabulary. And I also learned like the vision that I want to for talking about for teaching people.